Hi guys, welcome back to Silhouette Success. It is Monday morning and we are jumping right back into it. Today we are covering the new electrostatic mat feature that Silhouette has just rolled out. It is brand new technology. It is amazing and super useful. We are going to try it out today. We are going to see which materials will stick to the electrostatic mat and which ones need a little bit of help. Hi, I'm Brenda Lambert. I'm a TJC licensed instructor for Silhouette, and I hope that you are going to join our little crafting community. We do tutorials on the Curio too now. Super excited. And we also cover the Cameo and Silhouette Studio tutorials of all kinds. So if this sounds like something you are interested in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. And if everybody is ready now, let's do this. In order to get started, you're going to have to know how to start the electrostatic mat feature. So we are going to take a look at the control panel here. To turn the electrostatic mat on, you are looking at this button. When you push it, it gets just slightly brighter. It is kind of difficult to tell when it is on and when it is off. So as soon as you press that button, the electrostatic mat starts building up a charge. I had my protective sheet already laying on here. Okay, here is the protective sheet. Once the electrostatic mat has been turned on and has had a minute to charge up, you just lay the clear film on top of this, and this is going to protect the electrostatic bed on your machine. The electrostatic mat cover is extremely important. You do not want to cut without this. It's going to protect the electrostatic base, because if it gets cut or nicked or whatever, it's not going to function properly. You can purchase replacement covers for the electrostatic bed. They are not available yet. From what I hear, they are going to come in a 2-pack, and they are less expensive than an adhesive cutting mat. So once they become available, you probably should order a couple extra just to have them on hand, because again, you do not want to cut without these. Now, this has been sitting on the electrostatic bed for a minute, and if you lift up a corner, you can feel that the charge is building up. You want to smooth the mat down. You don't want any bubbles or creases in it. You want it completely flat. The first thing we are going to try out is simply a piece of copy paper. From what I have read online, the electrostatic mat works with thin materials. You want it to be completely flat, no wrinkles, no crinkles, no tears. You position it on the protective cover. And as soon as I set this down, I know you can't see this, but as soon as I set it down, I felt that static grab the paper and hold on to it. You're going to smooth out your material. You're going to let the charge build up again. I know this sounds like a lot, but it's really not bad, especially once you get the hang of it. I've done it a few times. It gets easier and easier, and it's really not any bigger of a hassle than trying to get something on an adhesive mat properly. This has set for just a second, and I'm putting pressure on the paper, and it is not moving. Now, of course, if you strong arm it, it is going to budge, but the machine is not going to put that much force on it. If you have a nice sharp blade in there, it's going to cut beautifully without too much push and shove on your material. So let's pull this off of here. I have a piece of cardstock. I don't know the weight of it, unfortunately. I bought it a while ago, but we are going to place the cardstock on the electrostatic mat. and smooth this down as well. I don't know if you can see in the video or not, but this corner has a little bit of a curl to it. It's not really wanting to stick. I don't know if that's going to affect how well it stays in place or not. We're going to give this a minute to build up that charge, and then we'll see how it does. It does seem to be holding it, yeah, not as well as the copy paper, but I think it would get through a cut. And we're going to test that out too. But I don't want to be running test cuts on material if I know for a fact it's not going to stick well enough. Because I do not want to run the risk of damaging the electrostatic base protective mat, because you cannot purchase them at this time. I'm being super cautious until I know I can get a replacement. I do believe this is stuck well enough to do a cut on it. Again, this edge does keep curling up, but really it's not moving. Next, we're going to move on to a sheet of vinyl. I have used a corner of this, but this is what we are going to use. I don't buy a lot of vinyl in sheets. I typically buy a roll, and I think that the rolled vinyl is going to be an issue because you want your material to be flat and not rolled to get the best adhesion to the mat. So I may have to invest in some 12 by 12 sheets of vinyl here and there. We'll see. Let the charge build up for just a minute and give this a test. It seems to be stuck in place pretty well. I think we can get a cut out of that. Now, the next thing I wanted to test out is some faux leather. I do not know if this is going to work or if it's not going to work. And one of the issues is that my faux leather is kind of wrinkly and crinkly here. But I think that maybe if we flip it over, it might adhere. We'll see. I'll let that build up. Another thing with the faux leather is it may take too much force to actually cut this because it's not a thin material. And the faux leather does require a greater force to cut, of course, than paper or vinyl. Okay, this corner is coming up. I do not think that's going to stick well enough. So if you have a material that's not going to stick well enough to the electrostatic base, you're going to want to grab an adhesive mat. Now, I'm kind of embarrassed of this mat because it is dirty, dirty, dirty. I need new mats. And with the adhesive mats, you want a newer mat because if you have grooves from the Cameo rollers, it's not going to adhere well if there are roller marks on the edges. I'll be heading out to get new mats later on today, but I wanted to work on getting this video out first, and then we will go from there. So what you want to do is you want to line the grid up with the electrostatic bed and smooth it out. It might be easier to smooth out with a protective sheet on it. All right, I'm going to let that set for a moment. The mat seems to be adhered well. And then you take your thicker material and you place it on the mat the same as you would for sending it through your Cameo or portrait. At this point, you would be able to go ahead, in theory, and cut on the faux leather, the leatherette. When you are done with the electrostatic bed, you want to push that button, turn it off. The light is now dim, so I know we're good to go. Okay, quick recap. The electrostatic base is fabulous. Absolutely love it, but it is for thinner materials. Think copy paper, vellum, even cardstock seems to be okay. Faux leather, absolutely not. You're going to need a sticky mat for that. You are going to want new mats. I am going to go and buy new mats and use them only with the Curio 2 so that they do not get the roller marks on the side. The next video coming out for the Curio 2 is going to be on the auto depth feature and actually getting something cut. Fingers crossed. I'm trying to keep these short for you guys. Anyway, go create something amazing. There is going to be a software tutorial coming out on Tuesday. I will see you there.